Hello, and welcome to the cult of complex geometry, a place for people with complicated lives. Are you having a complex, complicated, or otherwise unobvious kind of day? If so, I think you're in the right building. It's good to see you. How are you doing? Oh, complicated. Yeah, I know. You want coffee? This has milk and sugar in it. Yeah, you'd like to try? Okay. Now, you have to bear with me because our coffee machine broke. I used it too much. So, I had to go to the store and get this. Did you know that they sell coffee already made in a giant bottle? Oh yeah. Modernity is incredible, isn't it? Now, I have a bit of a dried flower obsession, and so this bottle is going to be the new home for my dried flowers. Okay. Here's your coffee. Let me know what you think. I hope you like it. At first, my taste buds were shocked. But then I actually thought, oh, it's not that bad. Okay. Well, thank you for coming in. I'm always surprised to see a real person sitting in front of me. So, sorry if I'm a little nervous. I'm just very excited to see you and to talk to you. I have to remember everything. It's been so long. Welcome to the cult. You're probably wondering what's going on here. Well, it's a cult, and as such, we have pretty unusual commitments, perhaps outside of the normal population. And in this case, we are committed to the study of 3 main shapes. There are more, but there are 3 main ones that we feel define our human lives in a variety of ways. And so we try to measure them as best as we can and talk about them with each other. We meet on Mondays for coffee. And so we have coffee and then we talk to each other about which shape we are in. And on presentation days, we give presentations on new possible shapes that we might have come up with or noticed. And then if we like that shape, we take a vote. And we say, that is a new shape that we are going to officially acknowledge in our literature. So we're always looking for new members. Perhaps what we can do today is I will show you the 3 shapes. You will say yay or nay. And then if you choose to join, you can leave any time. If you choose to join as a token of your official membership, I will present you with a trinket. Do you like trinkets? Yeah, me too. Look at this. Look at this trinket. Isn't that nice? All our members have one. It is a globe suspended in a cube. I won't give too much away, but this is one of our complex shapes. And so hopefully by the end of this conversation, this will make more sense, but should you choose to join, I will present you your token of membership, and then you are free to join me in the members room where we will be talking about our and enjoying our cubes together, as well as our coffee. So, what do you think? Would you like to know more? Okay, great. And your coffee. It's iced coffee without any ice. How complicated is that? Very complicated, a very fitting drink for what's going on here. But, okay. Our 3 shapes, in summary, are these. We have the spiral. Oh yeah. That's number 1. Number 2, we have the lightning. The lightning. It can go this way or this way, same as the spiral. Doesn't matter which way you turn them. Shape number 3 is the middle point of suspension, hence the globe. We end with this shape typically, but these are the 3 shapes. Again, there are more than these 3, but these are the 3 that are foundational. You will notice that many of our members look deranged, and maybe are deranged. As a consequence, they come up with all kinds of shapes. So, probably the highlight of this cult is our presentation days, in which, similar to this, a deranged person presents a shape for you to enjoy. So, let's take a look at the first shape. First deranged, complicated shape. I have my notes here. This is very important because we take these matters very seriously. What we also take seriously is the fact that life in no way is a matter of A to B. There's no way. Life unfolds much more complexly than that. And that complexity is our obsession. Complexity comes in many, many shapes. The first of which is the spiral. The spiral. Yeah. A lot of people like this one. This is the popular girl right here. The spiral. Very interesting. Do you ever feel like you're spiraling? Spiraling downward, right? What about spiraling upward? It's interesting to think about, especially because on a flat piece of paper it seems pretty directionless. It could be up or down. You know, at first glance, it seems highly, highly complicated, a spiral. Especially when you're inside, if we were to zoom way down in an actual spiral, because think about it like a maze. You would not be able to turn left or right. Going in the spiral, you can only go forward or backward, which looks exactly the same. And you wouldn't be able to see straight in front of you because the whole thing is curved. You would just be wandering, never really able to tell where you're going. So, these shapes though, when you zoom out and you look at the whole thing, you see that it's actually a highly controlled pattern. Quite highly controlled. And you are actually going someplace. You're not lost. You are headed toward a destination. I like to think of spirals as like a galaxy, you know. Sometimes when you're rotating around and around and around, you're actually not alone. You are in one part of the spiral that is filled with stuff, right? It's filled with things, other people to hold on to, all kind of weird little mysteries, you know. There was a time in college that I thought I was spiraling because every day was the same and I wasn't very happy. And I worked in this really bad warehouse job that was hard, and I went to the same classes and I drove on the the same highway in the same traffic every day, and I felt like I was spiraling. When I look back, I was going somewhere. There was an end point. It just felt as though I was lost, and it felt like it would never end. The future, when you're in a spiral, can be very hard to see. That's what makes these actually emotionally very complex to be in them. So, spiraling is a feature of life. It's why we really like this shape. Again, not the A to B, but you feel like you're going in a loop of repeated behavior. Sometimes those behaviors are not good and are maladaptive, and sometimes those behaviors are good and perfectly fine. But you're happening over and over and over until you find yourself at that center moment, the moment that you couldn't see because it was in the future. That's a very interesting point. That's the point that the shape is complete. It completes itself in that part of life. In my case, I quit that warehouse job. I erupted the shape. I opted out and blew the whole thing up. But that moment of blowing it up, that is the mysterious present. That's the little mystery, you know. That's the prize in the cereal box when you get to the middle. And people think of spiraling down because of this shape's association with a lack of control. Because you cannot turn off it very easily, go left or right. You feel like you're being pushed forward in your behaviors. You know, you're like helpless. But in another way, this shape in a positive light represents a seasonal change. It represents the wheel of our lives as we just have to repeat things. We have to develop continuous patterns that make our life a project. You know, these things happen, and sometime on your wheel, you will find that something's changed and you've outgrown a partner, or you've been left behind, or you have to quit your job. You know, things over and over and over and over are going to change and keep changing. One of the most important things is to maybe realize what shape you're in, and so to have some awareness. In fact, right now, me talking to you, I am in a spiral. I'm in a spiral shape in my life. It's quite interesting. I feel like something is going to change, but I don't know what. It's the winter. A lot of my days look the exact same, and they're repeating themselves over and over and over again. I feel like I'm orbiting, actually. Like I'm orbiting the next person I'm going to become, or some other future, but I don't know what it is, and that can be uncomfortable. But if I know I'm in this shape, I can calm down and zoom out and say, okay, I, with my rational brain, will know that I'm in this repeated pattern over and over, but the illusion of stagnation is just that, it's an illusion. And so I will keep my patience, and I will continue what I am doing as I await the complex present that is coming my way. You know what, too? It's good to mentally prepare for that change, because life will throw you a banana peel and you're gonna slip on it and you will go sliding into the next thing. So maybe that's what's waiting for me, is a big banana peel for me to slip on. That happens. That's okay. I'm mentally preparing for that. So maybe I will go slipping into the next shape. Let's look at the next shape. How are you doing? I know that was a lot, huh? Spiral. It's a big one to open with. But we're following it up with my absolute favorite. My favorite of these freaking shapes. This is the lightning bolt. It can go this way. It can go this way. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter which way. I like it this way because it looks like a tree. Doesn't it look like a tree? This is King Chaos right here. This is the real deal. It's beautiful and very unique. It changes a lot. This is a branching structure. It is exactly like lightning, right? It has many abrupt starts and stops. It both contains and lacks continuity. So you might already be recognizing how this is highly applicable to the human life. This is very much like a tree I saw one time. Maybe the ugliest tree I've ever seen. And it was so ugly that it reached all the way around until it touched beauty again. And it became the most beautiful tree I've ever seen. I'm quite attached to this tree. This is what life geometrically looks like when you are striving for any taste of the sun, any taste of it. You grow in that highly complex way as you just try to breathe and dodge out of the way of things and obtain that ephemeral, always moving, always setting sun. My favorite shape. For a long time, I never knew that lightning was a negative charge that was trying to find its way to the positively charged ground. And as it's doing that, it's trying to find the path of least resistance. But it doesn't do it perfectly in one shot. It goes out in all these different branches as it tries to make its attempt before it hits, and that's why it looks like that. I learned that from the internet. I learned that from an internet video. I didn't know that before, but I think that's quite beautiful, isn't it? Just like the tree. If the spiral is like a churning motion, this thing is full of potential, chaotic potential. It's full of the random and the unexpected discovery. It is full of banana peels. Maybe this is what's in the center of a spiral. Some opportunity to just kind of, with intention, shoot off in any direction that you might find. This is some people's eat, pray, love moment. This is some people's midlife crisis. This is some people's tragedy. All kinds of things. Some people fall in love, and this is what they end up looking like. A mess, you know. Life is a mess. This shape acknowledges that there are doors you open and you're not going to be able to walk through them. There's going to be little things you start that you're going to put down. You know, you just can't be everybody. You are going to get left behind. You are going to fail at this or that thing. You're going to win. You're going to win at things and really win at them. And it's going to shape your life. And you're going to develop in a wild, wacky shape. It might look like this, something like this. You're going to have your own unique version. And in fact, a lot of time here at the cult is spent mapping like individual branches because this thing is so incomprehensibly large. This is like a emoji version of the thing itself. The real thing is too complicated to see in full, but a lot of people enjoy trying to map it out. Anyway, some people even write books. They try and write a book about it. They try and capture it through art. So that's kind of fun. So you can kind of see like how people live these shapes, and these pathways kind of inform the way we think about ourselves. And you can already see that A to B is just not, it can't be real. There's no way that's real. This is a reduction. Then A to B is just beyond useful as a further reduction. You know, birth to death. Are you ready? Are you ready for shape number 3? You're doing great. You're doing amazing. You sat through 2. Okay. Get ready for this one. I think this is a good one to end on. It's usually been our ending shape. This is stillness, or its formal name, the middle point of suspension. This is it, the middle point of suspension. In this shape, the thing is just right there. It is what it is. It is here, in the middle. Sometimes when you are feeling anger or love or sadness or happiness, any of those things, and it's just a lot and you don't know what to do, you can just stay right there. You don't have to do anything. You don't have to rush forward. You don't have to rush forward and respond to the other person, right? Reply to their text messages immediately. You don't have to blow up a situation with a self-sabotage narrative or a self-sabotage action. You don't have to blow up a situation that you find stressing. You can just stay right there. You don't have to run away and abandon people. You can just stay right there. You don't have to throw all your stuff away as a reaction and become a minimalist and go live in the mountains. You can, but you don't have to. You can stay right here. This is perhaps a position of security or a practice of security. Sometimes this can look like stoicism, although it doesn't have to be stoicism. This is just a processing state. This is a non-reactive state. This is even a little vague because it involves a surrender, so the outcome is not clear. When you float, you are making the choice to feel your feelings instead of immediately reacting to the situation. You're kind of making the choice to discover how something will play out organically. You don't have to hasten a situation to an expectation, like a happy or a bad ending, like life. Sometimes will best be handled by staying and feeling and looking and perceiving, processing, surrendering control, definitely. So sometimes your life will look like this. It'll look like stillness. I think that's really, really nice. There's some peace involved in that. I've been here before. Like times when this situation does not need me to handle it. I need to just sit down. This is not to numb out or suggest a full detachment. It suggests rather an allowance of some peace, or an allowance or surrender to even a higher power sometimes. So there is agency and judgment involved in the creation of all three of these shapes, right? But the goal is to just acknowledge, maybe when we are in a different geometry, when all of a sudden the shape of our lives has changed and we think, oh, what's going on? The waters are a little more still. I'm feeling the need to just not react. Sometimes we will be spiraling just be spiraling or in a cyclical phase where we noticed a lot of repetition. And then sometimes it's just full GTA. Stuff's happening. I'm making it happen. And we're trying and trying and trying and trying. And we just have to learn based on the outcomes and the failures and the successes that happen from our striving over and over and over. So, yeah. I asked earlier, like, we think about spiraling downward, but what about spiraling up? Because I think these can be incredibly positive. Like a lightning bolt, someone can just come into your life and make your world so much better. And you just have a wonderful experience with a person. Yeah. Sometimes I make a choice to like read a book that changes my entire life. Or sometimes I'm in a spiral. But I'm working towards something very slowly. And something is building and I'm feeling an energy. And sometimes I'm in a state of rest. Where I'm just chilling and floating right in the middle. I don't need to react. Kind of happy in the present. So, these shapes, by complexity, we do mean the good and the bad, because complexity is a bit out of the binary. It makes it hard to measure. That's what's complicated about it. But if it's hard to measure, it's probably more real than something like A to B. It's probably more accurate, because human life is almost immeasurable. It has to be reduced down in many ways, through narrative and fiction. And why not shapes? That's the question. Why not shapes? I do ask you. You really sat through that. I know, that was a lot. You did great. Yeah, you even finished a lot of your coffee. That's gonna hit you in like 10 minutes. Watch out. That's gonna hit you. Our last pitch for this cult is that if you're deranged and wild, you don't have to be wild alone. You can do it with other people. Be complicated with other people. And chill, because we're all doing it together. Might as well talk about it and hang out. So, what do you think? Will you join? Will you be a member of the cult of complex geometry? It comes with responsibilities. You have to start paying attention to shapes. What do you think? Wow. Of course. Yes, of course. I was waiting in suspension for your answer, but I knew what it would be. I have something for you. Since you have decided to join, it is with extreme pride that I present to you your very own cube of the world, your suspended world. You are now caffeinated. You are now complicated, of course, and you are a member of the cult of complex geometry. That is for you. I'm very happy you said yes. I knew you would say yes. Of course you're going to say yes. You love a shape. I know it. And you love a little presentation. I really cannot wait for member presentation days. Any shape you want. Some people come up with all kinds of things. A star, a rhombus. If you want to go for the rhombus, do it. Be my guest. Whatever shape that you think you are living in at this point, would love to hear about it. I think it's fascinating. But yes, feel free to finish your coffee. Feel free to take it with you. And I will see you very, very soon in the members room, because you are a member. So thank you for being here, and thank you for talking with me today and coming in and saying hi. I will see you very, very, very shortly.